Hello everybody, welcome back to another day of training every single day. I started off today a little bit differently than I've been doing the past couple days. I didn't really feel like training strength in the upper body too hard. Specifically, I needed to rest my elbows some. I did notice my elbows are just kind of tired, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break from upper body. But the weather permitted me to train a little bit of agility and some footwork, which did a couple things that I've been trying to do the past little bit of training. This allowed me to train both my cardio, so my heart and lungs did get a workout. Normally I had a hard time training those just due to not really being too familiar with cardio workouts and really good at progressing them. But I did find this to be a really good way to train that. I got to train some agility on the lower legs. My legs got a nice workout, nice pump. The idea here was to train all planes of motion, so running forwards, running backwards, running side to side, all the planes of motion that really were at my level. I heard I'll sarcastically say, very reliable source on YouTube that, after the age of like 40, that most Americans will never run or never jump again. And the only way to really counteract that is to use it before you lose it. So I do plan on doing some running, some jumping at all levels throughout my life, just so I'm able to do it for as long as I can. I really was enjoying this today. I was able to get a nice training the lower legs, a more natural way of training some straight leg strength and a natural motion and natural mobility, because I needed to take a rest from bent-legged strength and, of course, resting the elbows from a little bit. This was about as fast as I could run. I'm not a very fast runner at all. So this is about as fast as I could run. I was tired, so I was a bit tired, but I did feel a really nice stimulus throughout the legs, and I felt really good at this, and I am going to continue doing a lot more running agility work in the future to train the legs in a more natural way, in the straight-legged version. So a lot with upper body, lower body. There's straight arms, straight legs, and bent arm and bent legs. And those are different kinds of strengths. It takes a different kind of coordination. And that's a really good way for me to train it at my current level of activity. I get into some balancing work with the slack line. Pretty low impact, pretty good way to challenge the abilities of balancing, coordination, and the exiting of the rope really allows me to train my landing and some spontaneity, because I do a lot of jumping off of high things outside of these training videos. If you enjoyed any of this or get any inspiration to train outside, make sure to get outside. Really best thing you can do for your mental health, clarity, very inspirational, as I like to say. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Now here I had a meal, big nice meal of some lamb and rice, along with some goat cheese I had. Really take care of what you put into your body. I do feel it's okay to eat a small amount of processed foods, or really just experiment with a whole bunch of different foods just to figure out what works for you, to be informed. There's a lot of information you can learn online about nutrition and what you can put in and on your body. I feel it's not so important to be super rigid and to be super try to be perfect with your diet. I think it's okay to experiment and to enjoy it some. I really do try not to eat any processed food, but I do feel like there is a good amount that you can add into your diet, and it can be good for you to a certain extent. So here I'm doing some shoulder mobility. I'm progressing the shoulder jump rope by moving laterally a lot more, trying to get side to side along with it. This is a really great way to build up the shoulders and mobility. It's one of the best moves I have in my shoulder mobility workout playlist, where I teach you all about that if you want to check that out. I did notice a lot of progression in my abilities today. Later in the day, I noticed my fingers and my feet, I guess my fingers and toes got a lot stronger. I do think my calves are starting to get a little bit bigger. Maybe not right now in this picture, but I think the running was a really good way to exercise the lower legs and the lower calves. My calves have always been pretty small compared to the rest of my body. I'm pretty tall, and I think that's probably the main reason. along with they're just kind of small in general. But I did feel a nice pump, and they did look a lot bigger on camera when I did the running compared to doing a lot of weightlifting. I think the combination of those two will be my way going forward to build up the lower legs. Here, I'm at the nighttime stretching. Best time to stretch is at night, because when you go to bed, you're going to be sedentary, and you'll kind of tighten up. And this is a great way so you can wake up in the morning and feel a little bit more energized and refreshed, so you can tackle the next day with more vigor. I try to be very dynamic, working very mobile within the bridge, keeping straight arms. My bridge is feeling really good. I just want to kind of lock this down. I'm not going to try pushing it so hard. I'm going to try to move around so that I can target some of the smaller muscles, so that I can really be super comfortable in the bridge, so that I can, move out of it, move into it very comfortably before I start progressing it to a lot more advanced back bending positions. Here is kind of the new addition to the stretching, the 90-90 position. I've been working it a lot just to try to get the hips nice and fortified, nice and bulletproof. I do plan on adding this into kind of a squat routine where I'll squat into this position. I think I might do that next time I do some bent-legged strength, but I am going to keep it into the nighttime stretching routine just so that I can keep them fortified, because my hips are kind of the thing that often get overworked and over-fatigued for me. So I'm going to take some extra attention to really understand it and build them up nicely. So that's kind of what I was talking about with building very, very comfortable position. I'm starting to get comfortable in position, so I'm adding motion, adding variety by swinging my arms and adding variety to the motions in this static position here with the upper body. And that technique can really be taken on to a lot of positions to develop more skills and more capabilities by getting comfortable in a position, then exploring and building up the capacity that you have within that specific movement. Now, the tailor's pose is something I wish I was a little bit better at. Still not. I think I need to work some other things before I can really get good at the butterfly position, tailor's pose, all that. I'm getting some new vigor when it comes into training the hamstrings. I took a little bit of time off, and that gave me a little bit a new perspective of how to train the hamstrings with some intensity. In the past, this position was just extremely painful for me, the most painful position when I trained the pike positions. And it's starting to be less painful, so it's allowing me to get a little bit more comfortable in these positions so I can train them a little bit harder. So that's great. I'm noticing a lot of improvement in the legs and lower body there, but I do want to not push it too hard too fast, because I've had some problems the past couple days and I'm starting to get out of it. And a big thing that I've noticed is I'm taking it back, trying these new positions these not new positions for me, but some of these easier positions, and just trying to make them harder by adding more motion and variety and better engagement throughout the body, so that I can build up my baseline before I start doing some more advanced splits and lotus poses. So these kind of easier positions are really where we're going to build a lot of foundation there. Now I get into the fingers, and I'm really sorry to say I got it off camera, it looks like. So if you really want to see what I'm doing the fingertip push-up. I have a tutorial in the tutorial playlist, how to do fingertip push-ups, where I go over this in depth. But I have noticed that my fingertip strength is a lot stronger, along with my toes, you'll see. Now, when I do these, normally I can only do the eccentric with extension of the fingers, where if you made a fist and you open it up, that's extension. And I'm getting a lot stronger at that, where in the past, I was only able to do the eccentric, the lowering, the contracting, but now I'm able to actually push myself up with just the extension of a single finger. I'm not putting a lot of body weight on it. I'm just squatting and leaning into it, but I am noticing a lot more strength there. And that's good, that I'm training it more consistently. And I've noticed a lot more vascularity in my arms. I don't know if it really picks up on camera, but my arms are getting really veiny when I do them. And then if you see here, my toe strength, back of the toe strength is getting a lot stronger. Now you can see that I can actually put all of my body weight on it for some amount of time. And that's all I had today. Thanks for watching. Sincerely.